do like. All right, Tyson, I'm bringing you in. Tyson Hockley, Canadian kid, or not a kid anymore. 3, 2, 1. Tyson.
Viva, great to see you, brother. Great to see you.
The same. What's going on? First off, how old?
I am definitely a lot bulkier. I've definitely been hitting the gym. I'm not sure if you've seen the videos I post on Twitter. I'm thinking about starting a fitness course because that's been one of my main focuses as of late. I actually just perfected the muscle up a couple days ago, which is really, really cool. So definitely a lot bulkier. But yeah, for sure. Good to talk to you. It's been a while.
What has it been? 2 years or 3 years? It's been
2 years, I believe. Yeah, because the convoy was 2022. So yeah, it would have been 2 years.
2 years. So you are now 17 or 16?
Yeah.
So what? I was going back and I watched the first interview just to refresh my memory. But
right.
So you were live streaming the protest out in Victoria.
Exactly. So yeah, that's how I started getting into like politics. Kind of. The Freedom Convoy happened. My mom was like, "Yo, you should go record this." It's like nobody in Victoria is live streaming this. We saw the Ottawa streamers, but it was pretty big in Victoria, dude. There's like 10,000 people in Victoria with not as much coverage as Ottawa. So I'm like, I could go fill this gap in the market and stream this. And obviously the Freedom Convoy, I was non-biased back then, but I'll admit it, guys. Okay, this is the first time I'm going to admit this. I supported the Freedom Convoy. 2 years ago, I was too scared to say this. I used to say I was unbiased. Guys, I supported the Freedom Convoy 100%. And that was an absolute honor to be a part of that and live streaming that for sure. That's where I first got my start on YouTube. Kind of before then, I was doing silly videos like 24-hour challenges on my roof, reviewing my shoes, like just silly stuff like that. But that's when I really got serious about YouTube, was live streaming the convoy. That's when I really got my start. So yeah.
Now, did you get in trouble at school for some reason, or am I confusing you with?
That's Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander. Okay, so you did not also have trouble at school.
No, thankfully. I don't want. Yeah, that would be terrible to go through, man. And me and Josh have actually been working on setting up a podcast. So me and Josh will definitely be doing a podcast in the near future for sure. So looking forward to that.
Well, so you did the live streaming of the citizen journalism live streaming. The protests come and go, and I mean, so what did you do afterwards? You went back to school. You're in high school still, correct?
Yes, yeah, grade 11. So still got another year after this as well. So
okay, awesome. Very cool. Grade 11. And well, what are the plans for the future after school?
Dude, I want to move out to Miami like you are. I want to move out to Miami, meet a lot of people. I saw you're on Fresh and Fit the other day, which is really, really cool. Fresh and Fit, I've been watching these guys for a while. These are people I really look up to. I'm starting to build connections now with Sneeko, Sunny Faz, like people who are actually on that space. I talked on a Twitter space to Sneeko the other day with Myron on there. So building my network. I'm doing a podcast with Tristan Tate. So much stuff. But I want to go to Miami and be financially free. But of course, I don't want to be like a grifter. I want to have a message of freedom all the time. And I want to elevate people's consciousness. The one thing, I want to speak to the youth, okay? That's one thing that we don't have enough. So many youth, they don't care about politics. They don't care about any of this stuff. We need a representative like myself. And I think Andrew Tate has also really gone this. He spoke to the youth a lot. Andrew Tate made it cool for the youth to be conservative. My goal, I want to make it also cool for the youth to be conservative. And I'm doing this too. So many of my friends, when they see me, they say something like, oh, Justin Trudeau sucks, like stuff like that. My entire friend group and my entire school, they follow my Instagram page. And it's all just like talking about how Justin Trudeau needs to go. And I think I'm succeeding, honestly. I think that the tide is turning amongst the youth. I think a lot of youth are now seeing it is okay to be conservative. And honestly, it's cool to be conservative now. So that's my plan for the future. Keep waking people up. But of course, I want to move to Miami because Canada's got a lot of problems. And I actually want to ask you this too, because you moved from Canada to Florida, right? Do you believe that Canada is past the point of saving?
I struggle with the question because I don't know. Whenever I go back to Canada, I'm going back in like a couple of days now. It's like walking into the Matrix, where there's a different zeitgeist in Canada than in the U.S. and certainly compared to Florida. There is a pushback, but it's not as widespread, and even the pushback from the conservatives is like a half-hearted, half-assed pushback, where like they sort of like welcoming the problem, but just slower than the liberals. I don't know. I mean, we'll definitely find out in the next election if there is one. But Tyson, hold on. I'm going to sound like your old cranky father right now.
Okay.
The risk is for young people who want to be a good message and a good inspiration. You need to acquire a meaningful life experience, and the risk of jumping into what I might call, not judgmentally, but superficial life experience might not be that which is the most productive or necessarily best way to jump into that type of field.
That's true.
You're gonna go to university?
I'm not sure yet. I'm doing a dual credit psychology course next semester. I'm really interested in psychology and like how the mind works. Eventually, I want to evolve to the point where I'm doing like viewer call-ins and I could do like therapy sessions and like psychology readings or whatever on my viewers, because I feel like that'd be very beneficial. As for university, I think I'm going to take a gap year to figure out what I want to do. Like I said, I'm starting to get a lot of stuff going for me. Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate's brother, told me he will do a podcast with me once I reach 100,000 followers on Rumble. So that's something I'm really ambitious about right now. As for university, though, I feel like a lot of people just go because their parents tell them to go, and then they end up. Sorry, go ahead.
That's true. It is. Well, first of all, it's not like I have much faith in these institutions in the first place.
Right.
But they do train you how to think, and they do train you how to discern from and also push back against the rubbish and the nonsense. But like a gap year, I'm going to sound like an old man. A gap year often turns into multiple gap years, and there's nothing wrong with it. Gary, do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Yeah, I love that guy. Gary
old school inspiration, but gives some damn good advice. You know, like learning a trade is something that you don't need to go to university for, but learning a trade is something you have to do through. Learning a trade is a lot easier than, learning a trade is more important than, I don't know, trying to wing it superficially. So that is the like learning an industry, learning a trade, and acquiring a skill. By no means do you have to go to university for it. And I'd say maybe even you're better off not going for that. But
yeah,
the risk is you jump to Miami at you're 17 and 18 years old, and you're going to get lost in a world that is not quite as alluring as you might think it is.
What's it like down there, though? Like, is it a lot better than Canada? I feel like the vibes in Miami are just like immaculate.
Well, I'm not in Miami. I'm like an hour north of Miami. So
okay.
No, dude, I'm in like I'm in old Jewish lady town like that. I'm in Boca. So my PO box is in Boca. If anybody's interested, it's in the description. But no, it's a totally different vibe. But it's also a totally different environment.
Right.
Dude, I got 3 kids and 2 dogs. I'm not doing late night shows with the ladies at Fresh and Fit. But
I was hoping to see you on that, bro.
Nah, I tell you, nothing good happens after midnight, regardless. But also, I gotta drive people places at 8 in the morning and pick up dog shit. But the politically speaking, and we're in an area where it's not red by any means. It's pretty mixed. Culturally, even Democrats out here seem to be more freedom oriented than liberals up in Canada, and there's more of them. Politically, school wise, it's woke-ish, but definitely not as bad as what I witnessed in my kids' public school up in Montreal. But I think the main issue is you're in Victoria, right?
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, the main issue is the laws out here versus the laws in Canada are going to make it, it's going to suppress anybody's ability to be a free thinker and a free speaker in Canada. And then the only question is, where can you effectively or more effectively wage the political war that needs to be waged?
Correct. And just to bring it back to university, bro, do you see what they're doing in university? It is so woke nowadays. So many college professors are incredibly woke. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Like, isn't there like such thing as like a degree in something like gender studies too? Like,
forget that. That's been around for years. Like, what do they have?
Crazy.
They have the religious, there's the religion studies, whatever. No, but now I've seen what's going on the campuses with respect to the Gaza Hamas Israel protests, and Montreal is a very big focal point. I'm gonna go walk by the McGill campus in Concordia when I get there and see what it looks like. But no, they are not institutions for learning really anymore. But you can still do some learning there. But you need to learn a trade, you need to learn a skill, and you need to do something that distinguishes you, not something that has a low bar of entry. So to speak. Well, how many subs are you up to on Rumble?
On Rumble, I'm at 1,080, but I don't know, it might have gone up since doing this podcast. The thing is, Sneeko, right?
Well, I know Sneeko. I was I don't know enough about Sneeko. I know what I think, and it might be superficial based on the limited stuff I could listen to in a car yesterday. But what's Sneeko's deal?
Sneeko keeps telling me that he doesn't believe I could reach 100K. So right now I'm incredibly driven to prove Sneeko wrong. I did a podcast with Sneeko like a year ago. I talked to him on a Twitter space a couple nights ago. He's like, bro, if you ever need bots for Rumble, hit me up because you ain't going to reach 100K for the next decade. I'm like, bro, I was laughing and stuff on the call, but when I got off, I'm like, wow, this just lit such a fire in me. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to get 100K. And the thing is, too, it's not just like, oh, I want so many followers just so I could be big and famous and important. Like, no, my thing is I want to have a good message for the youth. There's no other 16-year-old out here who's talking about stuff like the Freedom Convoy and being based on the internet, saying that there's only two genders, stuff like this. So we need more people, and I believe that I'm going to lead the next generation of conservatives in Canada and also in the world, too. It's not just Canadian. Of course, you see in the States, like, it's really bad down there, too. Donald Trump just got indicted. So crazy stuff all around the world.
Convicted out of, he got convicted out of New York.
Right.
Still, no, he's got his indictments elsewhere. Tyson, I'll give you the only old man advice I'll give you is in the pursuit. There's two things. One, it's from a Lazy Boy song, and it's called. Ooh, is it Desiderata, or is it we only listen to the headlines? Go listen to the Lazy Boy album, and it's a picture of a guy sitting on like a silhouette. The biggest lie you can tell yourself is when you get what you want, you'll be happy, because it's an eternal truth. But the other thing is be careful what you do in the pursuit of that goal, because the internet is forever, and people will do silly things or cheap, exploitive things to get to where they want to get to, and then. There's a certain low ceiling to the limit when it comes to that. So just that's some concerns I have if we're talking in real time. But no, man, what's amazing is it is becoming cool to be conservative, and I say conservative not politically. Conservative today means support free speech, have a little bit of thick skin so that you can deal with mean words on the internet, and have a little national pride in your country. There's nothing. They say like national pride it's like a big N word, but eventually people are going to realize there is some value to conservative principles that anchor you down. Otherwise, you are just a ship aimlessly floating with the winds.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We need more of a conservative backbone in the country for sure. I wanted to ask you a question because, of course, I'm in Canada. Sorry, my main focus is Canadian politics. I just want to ask you, what do people down in Florida view Canadians as? I fear that a lot of people view Canadians as weak because they look at our leader, Justin Trudeau, and they see Justin Trudeau as a very weak man. So like, okay, if these Canadians are going to elect this weak leader, then they must be weak themselves. So I'm just kind of curious what the consensus is in Florida of like Canada as a whole.
I wouldn't. It's my experience. I wouldn't dare speak for a number of people. My impression is that the consensus is and has been for a long time that Canadians are polite and subservient, and that is what allows us Canadians to be ruled by a polite dictator tyrant of Trudeau.
Polite dictator. That's crazy.
Well, and a sentence. Oh no, but he's polite, except when he's frothing at the mouth. Those people are putting it all over. But we are respectful, submissive, polite, subservient, which allows us to be dominated by a government because we would rather forego our freedoms for the impression of safety, which is the sort of the historical genetic opposite of America, which was fight the tyrants and live a wild life of freedom in the Wild West. And I think there is a cultural and historical DNA to a nation, and that's what people think of America, Canada. And I mean, I tend to agree. Like, we are subjects. We view ourselves as subjects to be governed, to have freedoms bestowed to us, and not God-given rights that the government, should have to pry out of our hands.
Yeah.
So, 100%. But now, so you're still in Victoria currently, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Victoria, that's the place where they had at the city hall, they had the period flag flying.
The period flag. What's the period flag?
Did you see that, dude? Hold. The period flag is exactly what it is. Hold on.
Wait, sorry, like a period, like how women get a period?
Yes.
They have a flag for
Oh,
you're
dude,
lying, bro.
If you to the kids out there, this flag. Let me see.
No, you can't be for real.
Let me find it. You got to get
no way.
You got to get dialed into the news. Where I think is, the niche that is popular or the niche that's alluring is this, the Andrew Tate ultra male stuff, which I think I have some disagreements with Andrew Tate. And we didn't get into it yet last night with Fresh and Fit. I do think, I'm not sure that people have the right perception or conception of what a man, in quotes, really is. But set that aside. Let me get the period flag. Where is it? They were flying the period flag in Victoria Hall. Victoria Hall. It's a flag dedicated to the... Here it is. Okay. I found it. What the bloody hell is going on here? Dude, this is what I think if you cover... and go into depth of the Canadian politics. It's sort of it's a niche market because maybe, no, remove this. Yeah, Victoria is off the deep end here. Yeah, City of Victoria. Today we join efforts to reduce the stigma around periods, women's vaginal bleeding. That's what they're talking about, and work towards menstrual equity. This is in your town, man. You should be here. Not interrogating.
I will interrogate them, bro.
No, on the street interviews. I'm sorry. What the hell is menstrual equity, Madam City Hall person? City Hall will light up red and display the period flag on our community flagpole.
That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
I'm gonna DM you this. This is because this was part of. Let me see what else there was.
Clown World, man. It's
Clown World. Sorry, hold on a second. Let me back out here. You're living in it, but you need to expose that to the world. Victoria is ground zero for the insanity of Canada.
Yeah, I'll definitely go down there and do some street interviews. That's what I've been getting into a lot is street interviews. And what I realized while doing street interviews is how I literally live in the most liberal city in all of Canada.
Oh, yeah.
I asked people the question, how many genders are there? In Hawaii, when I went there, I got a lot of people saying 2. Not one person in Victoria, not one person. I've filmed like 5 videos, street interviews. Not one person has told me that there's 2 genders. They always say either there's an infinite amount or there's millions or there's multiple, as many as you like. We live in the most liberal city, or I live in the most liberal city in all of Canada, which is good content. Like, it's really good content. But yeah, dude, I live in the stronghold. I live right in the mix of it all. So,
well, no, that's what I would suggest. Well, first of all, I know that Sneeko started off with his 1-minute politics. I mean, that's a damn good idea in general. I think Sneeko might have ventured into less productive ventures, but I far be it from me to judge anybody. But no, the man on the street interviews. And Crowder did it. Humans of New York. It used to be. It was an Instagram page, or I think it still is. Humans of New York, Honey, and they take a picture and they tell a story of an individual. Dude, do it. Look, get the names of the politicians and ask them questions. They answer to the people, and you should put that stuff on blast.
Exactly, and I've been doing a lot more journalism too. Like Maxime Bernier, the leader of the People's Party, I actually had him on my podcast. I think his policies are really, really good for Canada. The only problem is, like, he just doesn't have the numbers. Like, there's people who would have been liberals that are now leaning more conservative. Like, they're moderately conservative, but they're not going to go all the way to the People's Party. Yeah, well, being former liberals. So,
dude, I'm not yet sure that I'm venturing into this story because it's still fresh off the press. But go look up. Kean Bexty just put out a piece the other day, and there's going to be some political controversy in Canada if what Kean Bexty's reporting is mildly accurate. Go look it up. But man, no, I would say Miami. Dude, it's a lively, invigorating place, but you're young, get the good experiences, the meaningful ones, not the ones that might teach you the wrong lessons for life. But
it's like that inner child, that inner just like playful energy. I just want to go to Miami, not even necessarily to party, just like soak in the vibes. Like, I always just envision myself sitting back, smoking a cigar with Sneeko, just like something like that.
That's the wrong vision to have. What you should
no.
I just want to go and feel the vibe. The vibe of Miami is party. Like, it's I don't have any interest in doing it, but I get down there. It's like, oh yeah, it's lively. It's like New York, but younger, more hip, more energetic, and I dare say the dogs were even friendlier. But Tyson, I'm almost going to be late to pick up a kid. Yeah. Tell me, I'm going to go to locals after this, but I'll click you out now. But tell everybody where you are, and we'll keep in touch, and I'll make sure that you stay grounded to
if you're
a healthy life.
You're ending the stream right now, right?
I'm gonna boot you,
okay,
and then go over to locals and talk to them for a few minutes.
Okay, because I'm actually live on Rumble right now. I think there's something that you can do if you're ending the stream on Rumble. There's something that you can do where you raid my stream, where it's like all the people in your Rumble stream would go over to my Rumble stream. Of course, like, you don't have to do this. I'm just like throwing that out there. But I am live right now. I'm gonna keep streaming for a little bit. So yeah, I am streaming right now. If you want.
Okay, good. So you stay live. Everybody knows where you are. But Tyson, what's your channel? The channel name.
Tyson Hockley on Rumble. There's no space in between Tyson Hockley. It wouldn't let me do it for some reason. You'll know it's the right one because it's got like around 1,000 followers with my red little profile picture. Tyson Hockley on every single platform, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, I'm there. I'm going to keep on spreading the message, waking up the youth, and I'm actually live right now. So if you want to come watch, go to Viva's locals, obviously.
No, my locals knows where I am. They're going to go. And so, Tyson, Godspeed, man. We'll talk and we'll keep in touch, and just always make sure the internet is forever. What's done cannot be undone.
That's true. I don't want any clips taken out of context.
And with those words of neurotic wisdom, enjoy your day, Tyson. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day.
Have a good one.